ladies and gentlemen, across our beloved Kyber Empire, I am beyond hyped for this next conquest. You know, we gave you a little bit of a heads up there. There's something lurking out there in the bowels of the data mining. The data miners came up on top. They were right. Admiral Trench is coming to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and he's boosting the Separatist faction. I'm talking Newt Gunray, Wat Tambor, frickin' Jango Fett, baby. Let me be honest. It's been a moment since I was actually really excited for a conquest. You know, Scythe was, Ben was, Malgus was really the last one I was excited about. We're long overdue. We're a really exciting unit. Admiral Trench, we saw it in the Lord Vader events, coming to Galaxy Heroes. Man, I'm excited to break this down with you guys. Long story short, I got some bad news. It's gonna be a Territory War Omicron character. Last Territory War character, Boba Fett son of Jango, kind of gave us a little bit of a bad taste in our mouth. But the good news is this looks like it's got some uses even outside of Territory Wars. Really, we're not seeing Newt Gunray, Dooku doing much except like they're kind of out and about doing their own weird things. They're going to finally have a team that I could see happen even inside of Grand Wars. If you're not crazy about Territory War characters, I think there's going to be some good uses in that regard. The question a lot of people are saying, a lot of people doubted our data miners. Like, there's no way they're going to add Admiral Trench. That means they have to add another capital ship. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Time will tell, but let's get on into it, mis senores. Admiral Trench, dark side leader, support, separatist. Highlights our tactical separatist leader with deep tech and extortion synergy. When they talk about tech, they're referring to Wat Tambor tech. So as of now, I'm assuming it's going to be Trench, Count Dooku, Newt Gunray, Jango Fett. That's probably the team. I guess what they show down there is also legitimate. Asajj Ventress is kind of interesting. I mean, Night Sisters aren't doing a lot of hot stuff. Asajj doesn't. She's never really had crazy. She has a separatist tag, but not really any separatist synergy. I'd be curious to see if she works in Trench. She's got to buff the spell, and Trench has got some really cool buffs that could supercharge this team. So the most important thing to note, you're probably wondering, oh, can I use the Grievous? Likely not. And the way I'm imagining this being rearranged is that normally the fifth member inside of a separatist lineup for Grievous is usually Newt Gunray. The way I'm envisioning it now is Droideka, who's just kind of the odd man out. It's not a bad character, but Newt Gunray's just better. Droideka might go back into Grievous because with Trench here, works best along non-droid, non-Geonosian separatist allies. So as we kind of broke down, Jango Fett, Asajj, Count Dooku, Newt Gunray, but they still have synergy for all separatist characters. But I'm just imagining we're not going to see a lot of Grievous in here, but they said it's not like it's going to shut you out from doing so. All right, strategy tip. I think this is really fun to point out. Jango Fett greatly benefits from having the Bactoid Shield Generator, so I always call it the tank tech, while under Admiral Trench-led team. Opening with this can give your team the starting advantage, and also because this team will gain a great deal of speed based on extortion from Newt Gunray and tech from Wat Tambor, both of these characters can benefit from higher speed values to set yourself up for success. And we have our first Omicron basic ability as well, and as I said, this is the latest Conquest character to come to Galaxy, so likely we're not going to see this character. Let's see, the next Conquest starts next week, so we're probably not going to see it till early March, late February, however the calendar works out. So a little bit of time, but I have a feeling this is probably going to get some people excited to get more serious about Conquest. I feel like some people kind of took a little bit of time off the past few. Nothing that really kind of rung their bells for the most part. Not that they were bad. They're just not super exciting. This is a little bit more exciting, at least for me. And everything revolves around me. Remember that. But finally, after that little intro summary, let's talk about the kit itself. Whew. Unfinished business, Omicron basic. So it's kind of crazy, but it's a pretty good basic though. Only problem is it's Territory Wars. Ah! All right. Deal special with the target enemy and shock them for 2 turns. If the target was already shocked, you stun. Cool. So you have another stun on the basic, kind of like Count Dooku. During Trench's turn, allies with tactical supremacy gain a heal over time and a protection over time, which is still nice. A lot of durability in this team, it sounds like. Keep in mind, Wat Tambor has a heal over time as well on their basic ability, and Count Dooku already gets a lot of protection generation when they counterattack while they have riposte, or riposte as some people like to call it. And here's where the Territory Omicron kicks in. Okay, I'm going to keep my biases aside in regards to Territory Wars, but inflict ability block on target enemy for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled or resisted, and you reduce critical damage reduction. Reduce it by 20% critical damage stacking, so no cap until the end of the encounter. It's kind of a weird thing. First, critical damage reduction. So I'm guessing maybe it's gonna like slow down a Commander Luke Skywalker team, maybe a General Anakin Skywalker team. Very critical damage oriented teams until the end of the encounter. If the target enemy is already debuffed, remove 50% terminated from them, and then non-droid Separatist allies recover 30% health protection. So getting that on a basic is great. And keep in mind, Newt Gunray can potentially call in Trench to assist if there's an extortion on someone. So this is it's a good basic ability. You'd be getting a different tune from if this is Grand Arena, of course. Moving on, net positive. We have a Zeta cooldown of 3. So these animations are largely recycled, I believe, from the Lord Vader event, but the abilities are much different. So this ability, first special, dispels all buffs, deals special damage to target enemy. You're going to inflict stagger for 2 turns, and then you're going to call all other non-droid Separatist allies to assist. So Jango Fett, Count Dooku, Newt Gunray, no General Grievous, no Geonosians, nothing of that. Actually, no, you could technically call in a Geonosian. It's not excluding Geonosians from this equation. It's non-droid, so you can't call in Grievous or whatever the case might be. So 2 swarm attacks, Newt Gunray 1, Trench number 2. That's always kind of nice to see. Non-droid Separatist allies gain tactical supremacy for 2 turns, which can't be copied. So again, no Grievous love here. Trench gains protection up 40% for 2 turns, and other Separatist allies gain protection up 20% for 2 turns. And what does tactical supremacy do, you might ask? Well, it's a brand new buff in the game, and it's what it's going to do. It's going to give you plus 30% critical damage, potency, and you're going to cover 10% protection at the start of the turn. If dispelled, you're going to recover 40% health, then gain advantage, foresight for 2 turns at the end of that turn. And keep in mind, it can't be copied, but it doesn't say it can't be dispelled, so it could possibly be dispelled. So, and I would assume so, since it has this clause if dispelled. So it's not going to be locked like race damage immunity or whatever the case might be. Has a leader ability. Wowza, what a leader ability. Woo! Leader, Fear, Tactician, Zeta, and Omicron. So that is the second Omicron on this character. Final text, Separatist allies have 30% max health, protection, potency, and they have 10% speed. Excludes Galactic Legends. For each ally with tech, Wat Tambor tech, and enemies with extortion. So let's just put this in a picture right now. Wat Tambor usually starts first unless Han Solo stuns him. Wat Tambor goes, spreads some sort of tech around. They recommend the tank tech, Bactoid shield generator on Jango Fett. Right from the very beginning, you're going to get that big boost right there. 10% speed. It's not 10 speed, 10% speed. So if you have 300 speed, 10% of that is 30 speed. And when you consider that extortion might spread like wildfire, when you consider the fact that you're going to have at least 3 tech from Wat Tambor being distributed, right there, that's an insane amount. I'm kind of, I feel like a nerd right now. I'm kind of getting a little bit of goosebumps just thinking about the sheer amount of speed that this team's gonna have. I'm not kidding. My leg just had a little tingle in it. I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be a fast team. Oh man. I mean, again, 10% speed for every tech and extortion. So if there's 5 extortions, what is that? 50% extra speed. If there's 3 tech, that's 30. So 80% extra speed potential. So you're nearly going to be doubling potentially the speeds of your characters. This has to be the fastest team. No Omicron on this lead yet that we're talking about. So this is Grand Arena uses right here as well. Whenever a Separatist ally inflicts a debuff on an enemy, they gain 20% offense for 3 turns. A lot of debuffs that you get on here. Stacking, limit once per turn. So there is a cap on how long it's going to stay around, but there's no cap in terms of how much it's going to stack up. While a Separatist ally has a tech, Wat Tambor again, they have 100% potency. When a non-Geonosian Separatist ally gains the Bactoid shield generator, they dispel stealth from themselves, and while they have the Bactoid shield generator, they are immune to stealth and gain 100% critical avoidance and defense. Let's keep reading those. So again, keep your eyes peeled. They claim this is going to be great for Jango. While a Separatist ally has heal over time, they have plus 30% counter chance. And while they have protection over time, they have plus 30% defense penetration. Oh man. So the heals over time, they're not just heals over time. They got multiple buffs beneath them. So think of it kind of like defense up. Isn't just defense up for the Bad Batch. It's bonus damage on top of that. So they got the counter attack, and they have protection over time, defense penetration. And while enemy has burning, so Jango Fett's coming in here, they can't assist, counterattack, or gain bonus turn meter. Holy cow! Jango Fett's gonna be huge on this team. My gosh, so Jango Fett's a must-have on this team. But now let's talk about the territory aspect. Up until now, everything you saw at that lead had nothing to do with territories. Now we're getting the territories, and I like that it seems kind of optional. You know, I mean, I'm just happy that I'm going to get some good use out of this Scandroid. Fingers crossed. Hopefully, it seems really good. While in territory wars, non-droid Separatist allies have plus 50% mastery, 75% max health, and max protection. Separatist allies with tech can't have their turn meter reduced. Oh, that's insane. Enemies with extortion will be critically hit if able to. So as long as there's no critical hit immunity on them, you're going to land a critical hit. And this is big. Whenever an enemy dispels a debuff, Separatist allies gain 10% turn meter, limited to once per turn. The first time each enemy is reduced below 100% health, excluding summons. Ooh. Separatist allies gain 20% offense and even more speed, plus 5 speed stacking until the end of the battle. So we just kind of broke down. You're going to get insane amounts of speed, just potentially 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% extra speed. But then you're going to get extra speed just from this leader ability. Oh my gosh. Jeez. So what I'm seeing with this Jango Fett is basically when you give him that tank tech or whatever, it's basically making him taunt, like a quasi taunt for the most part, right? So whenever everyone else is under stealth or Dooku, Jango Fett's gonna be standing out in the open. So I'm guessing that's kind of where they're getting all this Jango Fett shenanigans from. Moving on here. Unique one. Man. Ooh. I smell fear and it smells good. Yeah. Zeta and an Omicron. The third Omicron right here, y'all. And at the start of the battle, Admiral Trench loses 50% max health and gains that much max protection. Jeez. It's going to be a very tanky guy, it seems like. While Trench is active, Separatist allies have plus even more potency, plus 50% in potency. And at the start of his turn, he gains protection over time, which is going to be great because you're going to get mostly protection, max protection gains here. So he's getting protection over time, 10% for 2 turns. And then while he has protection up, he's immune to buff immunity and healing immunity. So those buffs that he's gathered on him, they're not, you can't just stop him with a buff immunity. The first time an enemy loses all protection, at the end of that turn, they are feared. We have a fear on a Separatist leader, my friends. Ooh, feared for 1 turn, which can't be dispelled, evaded, or resisted. This is key. As we've been playing around the scythe, he has fear, but the scythe can technically be resisted even when they apply that fear. So it's nice we have an unresistible fear that can't be evaded or dispelled. So no tenacity up's gonna stop him. Man. Do you think there's like any chance this could like maybe counter Master Kenobi? I don't know. This seems pretty crazy though. Whenever another non-droid Separatist ally is damaged by an attack, defeated, or even evades all that foresight we talked about, Trench has a 50% chance to gain 100% turn. So kind of like a B2 super battle droid situation going on here. And then whenever an enemy dispels protection up from Trench, they inflict shock on themselves for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or even resisted. And as you know, with the basic ability, we're able to stun if they already had shock on them. So he's going to be doing a lot of control on the enemy field here. Oh, man. And then here's the last territory, Omicron. Whenever an enemy resists a debuff from a Separatist ally, they're losing 10% tenacity, which is stacking. So 10 debuffs you resist. Good luck resisting anymore. You basically have no tenacity anymore. And you're going to be losing extra critical damage, stacking. We already talked about all this critical damage reduction that's going on. The first time Trench's health is reduced below 75% health, he's going to recover 100% health, gain the foresight, and as we talked about all the things what happen when you get foresight and you dodge, he's also going to get protection up 50% and tenacity up for 2 turns. Then while a Separatist ally has heal over time, so Wat Tambor Basic, for example, health recovery on them is increased by 15%. And then while a Separatist ally has protection over time, this is also Wat Tambor, protection recovery on them is increased by 15%. And oh, by the way, just a small detail, it looks like there wasn't enough speed. So what about a little bit more speed, baby, on your Separatist? Allies with tactical supremacy have plus 25 speed. Oh. And there's the swagger stick, by the way. I hope they call that the swagger stick when they put it inside Galaxiers. Holy cow, this is a lot of fun. I mean, I just still can't get over this. This has got to be the fastest team we're going to be seeing in Galaxy Heroes history. Like, broken amount of speed. So again, 10% speed for every ally with tech and each enemy is extortion. So let's just throw out potentially 80% extra speed there. And then on top of that, 5 speed plus 5. Geez. Anytime an enemy's reduced below 100% health, you're getting even more speed. So another 25 speed, and then another 25 speed there. Like, holy cow, this is the fastest team in Galaxy of Heroes history. I mean, maybe except from Dr. Rafa's 100% Terminator she gets at the very beginning of battle. Otherwise, the team across the board is extremely darn fast. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm really, you know, the past couple conquests, I feel like I've just been grinding. I gotta get it just because I gotta get it. This is that conquest character that has supercharged my excitement. I love the Separatist faction. I feel like they're not really in the mainstream limelight right now. I have confidence that this is gonna be pretty useful, even inside a Grand Arena and in Territory Wars. Maybe I just gotta like Territories a bit more, but it's gonna look like a lot of fun. And people who love Territories, like all those top guilds, you're gonna have a field day with this character. My, oh my, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let me know down below, what are your thoughts on this character? Is this gonna get you motivated to do this conquest? Is this like that Malgus where everyone starts to shuffle like, holy cow, I gotta get this character? I feel like Malgus may be a little bit more exciting than Trench, but still, definitely pretty exciting nonetheless. Man, good stuff. Well, thank you all so much for coming by. Get ready to get your conquest grinding on. The conquest grind starts again this upcoming Monday, and then 3 conquests down the road, a month and a half, give or take. We'll be seeing what this guy's all about. So let's fast forward and get there as soon as possible. Leave that like, comment down below, subscribe to our ever-growing empire, and always remember, holy cow, it's great to be in the empire today. Oh, baby, I'm happy.
Oh, it's great to be in the empire today. The sun never sets.